Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Data AI Stockholm community series. Today I have with me Phiphi Tran, who is a community member of ours, and she will talk us on her journey working as an AI engineer, and she will also share with us some information about the AI Menti Creator project she has been working on Mentimeter. Welcome Phiphi, thank you so much for today. So what if we start you telling us more about your background?
Yeah, but first of all, thank you for just having me here. And short about me, so I have a background in engineering physics, and then I worked a few years as a data scientist. And so you can imagine that my mindset has been, very structured. Everything has been measured, proved, just somehow backed by numbers, or understanding theory and verifying assumptions. And then 2 years ago, I moved into AI engineering here at Mentimeter. And that was quite a bit of a change for me, because then I moved from, working only with deterministic systems, when the same input always gives the same output, to building product features using non-deterministic LLMs. You can really imagine that it was a bit of a change for me there.
Yeah, that's actually interesting. What make you do this change? How did you decide actually to do such a big change? Did you enjoy, did you have any contact with this before, or it was something, a challenge for you that you wanted to go and work with?
And I had been in data science a few years, and then, when ChatGPT released their models and you can also chat, and that was a whole new world that exploded. And I mean, I just did it for fun on the side, and I tried out a bit at work, and then I was this was actually pretty fun. And then, one day the ad for AI engineer at Mentimeter popped up, and for once I felt like every single criteria actually fits on me, and I'm well, why not just try? In worst case, I would just stay here, and in best case, I might get a whole new role. So I actually tried it, and I must say that it was one of the most fun technical assessments, or they call it assessment, but the technical assignment that I've ever done. And then it landed in me actually getting the role. So that was how I got into AI engineering at Mentimeter.
Fantastic. I was also wondering, you have been part also of Ping Programming, right? Can you tell us more about this as well?
Yeah. So Ping Program is a non-profit organization that wants more women to get into tech and start programming, and just make the society more equal on the gender side. So what we are doing is just having a lot of different events and just encouraging more women to get in and also stay in there, and also provide with role models as well. So we can just be more representative and have more different perspectives in tech.
Yeah, it's fantastic work, really. I think it's really impressive, honestly. And are you still continuing being in this community?
Yeah, so I started when I was in high school, actually.
Oh my God,
and
fantastic.
I feel like I've actually really grown, grown up in this community. Been allowed to take a lot of lead initiatives that have camps. And just held a lot of workshops that I really pushed me outside my comfort zone. And I really feel like the person I am today is partly thanks to Ping Programming, actually.
Such a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing this. It's fantastic, really. It's crazy that you started from high school. Wow. Well, yes, perfect. And can you share more about this project of AI Menti Creator? Can you, what is it?
Yeah, I'm thinking before I jump into the AI Menti Creator, then for anyone who's not familiar with Mentimeter before, then it is an online tool for creating slide decks, but more built around participation. So imagine if you're having a traditional PowerPoint presentation, then you are presenting a lot of slides, you're pressing them through, everyone listens, and then you leave. Not that really exciting, right? But with Mentimeter, then you as a participant can scan a QR code, and then you can actually interact with the questions live. So let's say with PowerPoint, maybe you would just have a slide and it would say, okay, this is what makes a good leader. And then it's like bullet 1, bullet 2, bullet 3, and so on. But with Mentimeter, then you can actually ask the audience, okay, what do you think makes a good leader? And then everyone can like respond, and then their answers will appear live on the screen. So it's really built like around participation, because if you imagine it yourself, then if you are allowed to be like to participate in something, then you will be like more engaged, and you will be like more active, and you will also feel like it's actually pretty fun to be here, even if it's like, you know, formal. So yeah. And so that was short about Mentimeter. Nice. And if I jump to the AI Menti Creator, then it is, I would say that, to give some background to it first, maybe.
Yes, please.
So my team and I really like to build something that actually gives value to the user, rather than just like following on trends and like building things because they are cool. So we were talking with customers actually, and saw this pattern that, okay, so let's say that you want to have a workshop and you want to use Mentimeter because you want to have it interactive. Then you can go into their website, create some questions, but then you ask yourself, like, what to even ask? Even if Mentimeter is a tool for interaction, it can be hard to come up with the questions because it's so much creative work and cognitive work, and sometimes it can just be hard. So we decided to build a tool that can help you create a slide deck quicker. So the AI Menti Creator is kind of like a conversation partner that helps you create the slide deck quicker. So instead of like manually creating it slide by slide, then you can like describe what you want to do, and then we will take or like try to understand what it is and ask you some clarification questions, and then just like spit out like a structured and ready to use session. So you just can like use it and get this participation and engagement.
Fantastic. So is it possible if you share with us a bit more the technical part behind this? Like how can you use such a tool for Mentimeter? If it's possible, of course.
Yeah, but I can say that the AI Menti Creator is a multi-agent system. So you can see it as a small team. So we're having the main assistant that you're talking to that tries to like understand, okay, what is it that Vanessa wants to do? And then also like keeps track of the conversation. And then behind the scenes, we're having some like specialized agents that are like doing some specific tasks. And that can, for example, be like one agent that creates the slide deck, and then we can, for example, have another agent that modifies the slides that have been created. So you can like have a conversation back and forth of what you want to create and then what you want to edit, so you feel happy with what you have in the end. Yeah, and one thing that I would like to dig a little bit deeper into that I feel doesn't get that much attention at meetups or just general nowadays is structured outputs. You know, OpenAI introduced structured outputs in 2024, and to me it has been like one of those like quiet breakthroughs. You don't see it that much, but it's actually like a game changer in how we're using LLMs. So for those who are not familiar with structured outputs, so if you imagine when you're talking with ChatGPT, you get like these big chunks of text. And if you use structured output instead, then you can like get it in a specific format. So let's say that you want to do a classification, or like let's do a sentiment analysis of some reviews, then you can specify to on the output like some certain labels, and you can like steer the format based on what you want to do. And then when using structured output in production, that can be very complex, that I don't think that many people are talking about. Because in the AI Menti Creator, for example, we're actually letting the LLM generate the whole slide deck. And you can imagine how many components that are in there. And to try to visualize it a bit more simple, and if I take a very simple example, if I would break down Mentimeter slide deck, then on the top level, we would have the slide deck. And then a slide deck consists of several slides. And one slide can, for example, be a multiple choice question. And this slide then has like a question string, and then it has some options. And then the option can be like both a string and a boolean for like, is this correct or is it not correct? So imagine that we need to construct something so the LLM can generate like the whole, like all of those levels that I just described. And I mean, even if I kind of like know how LLM works and how they are trained, I find it pretty impressive that they are like still able to do that. Because I mean, in the end, the key for an LLM is to not only produce good text for us, but actually like the whole structure. And that's also pretty like fascinating, because then you feel like the real engineering side of it. Like, how do you actually design the schemas in a good way? How do you like handle and validate the output, and also like, handle the edge cases? And it's just like, the deeper the product is, like the product structure, then the more complex and nested like everything gets. And you realize pretty quickly that it can get very nested and complex pretty quickly.
Yeah, I can imagine. Can you share with us like what kind of structure output you used? Is it a specific one? Like, can we have this information, or?
So since I have a data science background, then it's very natural for me to work with Python. And the data validation tool in Python is pedantic. So for us, it's very natural to do it. But I know that, for example, in TypeScript, you have, I think it's called sed or sod, but it's like similar based on which language. But our, like most of the LLM work that we're doing is mainly in Python, or like at least the things that we do for users. But internally, we have different as well.
Okay. Then I would also like to ask you, there are so many agents right now that pop up. What would you say that makes an agent or approach unique?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I feel like, as you're saying, agents today are like popping up everywhere and everyone wants to build agents. To me, like in the end, like I feel like agents are all built on the same building blocks. I mean, it's like a similar understanding and like similar fundamentals. But what I feel makes the agent unique, and especially in our case, is the know-how behind our agent. So we're having a conversation agent, but I mean, there are so many conversation agents out there. But for the AI Menti Creator specifically, then it can be like, how do you actually like put up a good structure in the slide deck? How do you actually ask a good and engaging question? When should you use the specific slide types that we're having? When should you use like an open-ended or a multiple choice question, or a ranking or a slide question, for example? And just like in general, how do you make like a presentation or a slide deck very engaging, and to like keep the participation up?
Yeah,
basically.
I understand. Perfect. That's really interesting. And how do you feel like about it? Like the result now? I mean, people are using it, right? Like you have your customers. Do you feel like you get like feedback that it's helpful for improvements, or like do you feel like you can get to it like in another step up somehow, or are you satisfied? Tell me more about it.
Will you ever be satisfied with a product?
No, that's true. Yeah. That's true. No, that's true.
I mean, I feel like in the beginning, I mean, I still remember in the beginning when we were releasing it, because, you know, you're like doing so much testing before you release anything. And when you work with LLMs, for us, it was like, okay, like, I mean, so I mentioned that LLMs are very non-deterministic, but how do we actually verify that the LLM behaves in the way that we want it to do? Well, we need to rely on something. And like me with a data science background, I am like strongly relying on statistical confidence. Like, is it actually behaving like good enough of times for me to be like, okay, I actually feel confident in pushing, like, pushing the button to release it to users. So from my side, that's really been just relying on the numbers. And I remember like the first few hundred users that we had, we were like, okay, logging, like, okay, is it actually working? And like, how are they, like, are they actually like creating a static in the beginning? Are they actually like calling the modify agent as well? So we were just like, you know, excitedly waiting and like seeing the results. But now when we have had it out for a while, then it's like, yeah, then we just continue to see if there are like any errors that occur. I mean, we have iterated on the AI Creator for a few years. Yeah, just a fun fact, like when the first version that we had 2 years ago was actually run on GPT 3.5.
Yeah.
And that was before structured outputs. You can like really imagine how many iterations we've had to actually having a multi-agent system now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really about just trying to like understand what is it that the user actually wants to create, and like understand the intent. And then we just want to like deliver the value that we can with Mentimeter, which is like, okay, does the user actually get something that they can create and create to deliver something that they can engage with their audience, basically.
Nice, fantastic. So what would you say are your goals or next steps for this project?
I feel like right now we have like put the development on hold because there are like so much things happening in the company. We're like jumping on and doing like some experiments for like other things that might come up. I can probably not say about them in case they are not successful, but we are like still trying to find other ways to like give the user more value. And sometimes it's with an LLM, or sometimes it's more like the traditional deterministic thinking. I'm more on the data, I'm more on the data heavy side. So for me, it's all about data. And then the question is just like, okay, is it relevant to have a LLM in this case, or is it not? Can we like use any traditional approaches? But mainly it's like first the traditional approaches, and when we need to enhance it, that's when we use an LLM.
Yeah, crazy, fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. Do you, by the way, work on anything on your side, or like on site, outside of work, any other project that you do, or do you have the time? I don't know, like we're all living a busy day, busy time, so maybe you don't know, but I was wondering if you have anything.
I feel like this come and go, you know, sometimes you have like this idea that you just want to try out. And sometimes, you're like hanging out with your friends and they're like, I wonder if we could do this. And then what I do is just like, I open Cloud Code and then, okay, just give me the, like a specification of what you would like to have. And I can just like generate it quickly.
Yeah.
So like most of the times it's like those like quick ideas that I just like put into into some kind of specification, then I give it to an agent that runs it for me. But I wouldn't say that I have done like a bigger projects that has taken several months lately. Then it has mostly been focused on work. But I mean, I feel like it's like super convenient to just like, if you want to demo something for your team or demo something for someone else, you can just like write this specification with what you have in mind, and then maybe spend, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes to have it up and run.
Yeah.
I think that is like a big step.
Exactly. That's crazy. Like back in the days, that could have taken months.
Exactly.
This is really nice. It's crazy to see. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. I wanted also to ask about like more about data and AI. How did you come and like how did you know about data and AI?
Yeah, I mean, I remember like I was speaking at the AI engineering meetup.
Yes.
So it was a lightning talk, and I was just like challenging the view of how we could like evaluate LLMs. And I remember that you approached me after that, and you were like, I would like you to like hear about our community, and maybe you could like come and speak to us.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, interesting. I mean, maybe. And then when we like spoke more, you told me more about the format. I was like, I actually like this concept, because you told me that instead of like those like traditional meetups where you come and listen to presentations, then this community is more around discussions and actually like sharing ideas with each other. And I felt like that is like a kind of community that I want to be in. I want to like have more sharing than just like coming and listening to other people, if I say it like that.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you so much. It was really nice to hear. Like, even it was really nice. I actually, the very first time that I saw you was at the Women in Tech. On your speech. I was on that day, and I was really impressed. It was a really nice speech. And when I saw you at Robert's, like, oh my God, like, but it was really, really nice to get to talk to you, and even to have this opportunity to have this interview with you. Really, really thank you for taking the time for us. And we always close with the same question with every guest. And it's a bit more philosophical question, but I would like to hear your point of view as well. Like, what is responsible AI for you?
Yeah, I feel like this answer can like go into like so many different paths.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
I think that what I would answer is, well, like to me, it's more about finding something or like creating something that you actually believe gives value to either yourself or to someone else. I'm just thinking now about the AI Menti Creator. So what we did there was that we actually found some pattern around like among our customers, and then we wanted to like solve that problem. And in this case, it was like taking them from a blank space to like a draft that they actually could decide themselves if they would like to use or not, but actually like using it in the purpose of helping someone or like enabling someone to be more efficient or like support someone in the way. I think that that's like the mindset that we should have when we build something responsibly, instead of just like following the hype that unfortunately too many people are doing today.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thank you so much for sharing your amazing journey and your amazing work at Mentimeter. And thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more community stories from Data AI Stockholm. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect.